All right. How is everybody going today? It is June, a new month here on the FX Street. You're with me, Andrew Han, with Tradewithufos Nailing FX. It's the US session, which is beginning very soon in half an hour or so. So we will try and work through some of these markets before then, and ready for the open there. If you have not been with us before, you are able to join our membership for free at tradewithufos.com/Andrew. Just go to our website and sign up, and you'll get a newsletter, daily newsletter, which will cover some of the markets that we always look at every day. And actually, if you also go to our YouTube channel, our Tradewithufos YouTube channel, you're actually able to get those commentaries from Becky and Boyan. My computer freezed for some reason. So I'm back in there. Apologize for that, everybody. So that. Okay. All right. A little bit of technical difficulties there, folks. Apologize for that. So let's start looking at things here. Just get my stuff organized. So where were we? First of all, we've got this little disclaimer, just like to help us with there. Let's read through that as we get back on track here. Okay. All right. So just so that you all know, we are going to be very excited to let you know about our audio UFOs for MetaTrader, and I'll be showing you that during this session. If you want to watch the recording of how it all, of the launch and how it all works, you can go to our YouTube site, of course, and some amazing sort of stuff that that you now have access to, and it's all on the web as well. So you'll be able to access order UFOs through MetaTrader anywhere in the world. So even if you don't have your computer with you, you know, and you have access to computer somewhere else, you're actually able to access it through the web. So that's an exciting development there. And also, if you want to understand more about the cryptocurrency markets, and you know, I do a Bitcoin commentary. And so if you're able to go to the link below, etheice.com/ice Bitcoin commentary, and you will be able to get a weekly commentary from ICE Exchange, and get all the latest on what's going on there. Okay. What else do we have here? Again, you know, if you want to find out more about our courses, we do have future stocks backtesting and trading plans. You know, we have our MT5, that's a MetaTrader that's been launched, and we're also going to be soon also releasing a crypto course as well. All right, so that's very exciting stuff coming up. And as I was mentioning before, my computer froze. We do have this 3D daily news flash, and if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll be able to see the latest and greatest of that, from either Boyan or from Becky. Okay, so do go to our YouTube channel and click the subscribe button to get those updates. All right, so let's just go to the markets now, and I'm just going to start here on TradingView, just so that we can also see. You can also see, you know, what's going on with the US dollar, and as we have seen for most of April, you know, we've been seeing the dollar move down, and it's actually hit and got traded lower on the lower end of, or the higher end, I should say, of 89. Hasn't gone all the way down to 89, but it's kind of just basing around. So as we wait for non-farm payrolls tomorrow, it's going to be interesting to see if we're going to get any sort of movement to the upside, or if we're going to see continuation and continued weakness in the dollar going forward. So so we do have you know, the auto climate telling us red, and so that's just something that we're going to have to be mindful of, right? That the overall direction of dollar, the climate overall is weak, right? So it wouldn't be surprising, right, that we see this dollar continue lower, but it has been basically. So So that's just for context. And if we also want to look at the equity markets, we can also see that we've come back almost up to these highs on the daily. And so again, we had a bit of a move lower in May, kind of did a little bit of a W bounce, and it just hasn't been wanting to clear this 42.50 level, which has been hovering underneath there. So we see non-farm maybe trigger something to the upside, downside to kind of clear that level. It remains to see what happens there. Okay, so that's what we see there. Gold has been doing pretty well, although today it looks like it's come off a little bit. It's just, it's come off a lot. And so it's going to remove all of these old levels here. We actually did come up to this level up here on the index. And I'm just going to take this away. All right. And so it looks like we're responding to this area here up at just under 1920, and a pretty strong move to the downside, but still no change in that trend. So we've seen basically for since mid-April a strong move up to the upside there. Okay, so from a big picture perspective, we've got equities high, gold high, and dollar down low. And just for those who are interested in Bitcoin, we've also seen pretty strong move in Bitcoin as well. So this is on the back futures, Bitcoin futures there, and so we did see a spike down to this low, holding, and so again this sideways move, which you've got. If you go back to the dollar, it's almost emulating a little bit of that. So there's a little bit of positive correlation going on there at the moment to the dollar. Now let's just see. I can get us to the house is just a little bit too sensitive today. Just get my UFOs going. Just need to switch around. Browser here. Just give me 1 second. Okay, let me just bring us down here. Okay, here we are. We are now connecting. Oh. Shrink that up a bit here. Out. Okay. So it's the Aussie going on there. Let me just add. So here we see our auto UFOs at work here. And this is on a daily time frame. This. And So as you can see, we've got the other UFOs here working on MetaTrader, so MetaTrader 5, and so it's pretty nice to see the auto UFOs here finally on MetaTrader and also Auto Climate. And if we just go down to smaller time frames as well, you'll be able to see that the auto UFOs kind of showing up here as well very nicely. Okay, and looks like we've got some weakness, right, coming into the Aussie. But we've also seen that the Aussie's been very much range bound, right? So we had this little bit of a spike here that put up some areas of selling UFOs, and we haven't really been able to get back up to those areas. So we've had some new UFOs kind of put themselves in here, and now we're moving, getting some strength down to the downside. So there's been multiple attempts of getting below, this 70, really the 77 level, and if we do get down to this 76.60 level, then we probably would expect some sort of bounce here. So there's a couple of areas underneath here that we can expect a bit of a bounce. And so you can see from this chart here on the 4-hour, just where those strong moves took place, forming those areas of buy UFOs, those thick areas there. If we look at the bigger picture, of course, we're very far away. We've got basically got a lot of room. Right? I mean, there's over a year, right, since we've been moving higher in this uptrend. Now we are getting, it's almost a similar pattern, right, to what we saw here at this spike. Sideways movement, not able to get below this area here, and it's almost repeating here. We had a spike, and we've got the sideways movement, and not able to get any lower. So one of the things that you're going to have to note is that we have been doing lower highs here. We start to break this area here. The next area we need to watch out for any breakage is this 75.50 level here. So if we start to get any lower than that, then we start to be moving towards some sort of downtrend, and I would expect the auto climate then to start to change as well. Give us more red confirmed down climate. So it's a bit of a, so getting these lower highs here, so it's just something to note. And jump across to Euro. We're also seeing some weakness there, but yet, still in an overall uptrend here. Okay. So we may not get too much activity going on until tomorrow because of non-farm, and so let's just wait for the auto UFOs to pop up here. little bit of time. Let's put it back a little down. Okay, so so we are coming into this area here, and so we're probably going to get a little bit of a bounce here coming into where those order UFOs were on the daily, and looks like there's a set of unfilled orders down below here that has been tested before, and but still in an uptrend. So if you want to go long at these areas, then the like 2130, 21 even, then there's an opportunity there to do that. So the risk there is say about 30 pips. So like with all things, you can adjust your risk size. If you are, since we're coming up to non-farm payrolls as well, if you just want to participate, and if you don't mind a little bit of volatility coming in potentially, then with that what we call direct force, right below here should give us at least a little bit of bounce, but we don't know what the volatility is going to be because of the news. Otherwise, we do have this area down below here. So if we do for a bit of a trend line here, you'll also be able to see that that we're getting a break, right, of that trend line. So that could be a bit of a fake out to the bottom there, and that's what we'll wait for. Okay. So we've got a question here: is this a live trade? Yeah, these are live markets. Yes, this is a live market. We're not. We haven't placed an order here yet. This just so you know, there's a demo, right? There's a demo account, but these are live markets, and these are order UFOs that are being placed there. Now, if we do want to place an order, okay, we can do that here, and and so just like any order that you would place, right? The area identified is 21, let's say 30, and we want to put our stop below that 2105. So just put that there at 1.21. Let's just call it that. Okay, so it's a 30 pip risk. And so if you want to position size this, so let's say that you're able to risk $50 on a trade or $100 on a trade, then you'd position size that accordingly, right? So if you're going to risk so one standard lot, right? 30 pips, that's $300. Okay, so in this trade, you'd say put a 0.3, so that you're only risking approximately about $90. Okay, so if we do that, place that there, and actually I think I forgot to put the target, didn't I? Yeah. So if you want to do a one-to-one, you would enter in at 2130, and you would exit at 2160. Okay, so just gonna modify that. So so again, the there are two questions, right, that you need to ask yourself is, hey, what's the environment, right, of the market? What's the climate of the market? And we know that we're in this uptrend, right? And so, that trend is not going to change until we kind of break the lows, right? So even though we are breaking some of these prior lows here, we do have an area where there is some potential buying, but because also we're kind of near non-farm payrolls, we may get some volatility there, right? So in terms of setting your expectations for where the market can move, it's a good idea to reduce your position size, just risk a little bit less, or have targets which are more in line with the expectation, right, of the market that you're going into, and some of the triggers that can trigger your potentially your stops if they're a little bit too close, right? So it's very straightforward, I think, in terms of how these Tradewithufos can help you, because they identify where those areas of concentrations of potential orders, where market participants may want to come into the market, right? So there's no rush, right? There's no rush in going long, right? We wait until price comes to those areas that we identify as where we want to go long at within the context of what we're seeing. So that's also why we're not going to go short here, right? Because we're in a climate of an uptrend, right? And so our bias is towards buying. So this is how we stay on the right side of trade in that sense, because we do have two of those key questions answered, which is from the auto climate perspective, should we be looking at buying or should we be looking at selling? Along with the other sort of strategies that we may use, which could be moving averages, could be trend lines, it could be some other strategy that we use in order to make our trading decisions. But clearly here, it is telling us to look for buying opportunities, and again, it also depends on your overall analysis to determine what is the right move to take, right? And so with these blue auto climate indicators telling us to stay long, now there are periods, right, where in actual fact we do nothing, and so potentially this also could be one of those times as we start to see the auto climate change to red. Potentially we probably may need to consider not going long until we maybe tomorrow see what color that climate tells us. So if we do get a confirmed red climate, then we probably wouldn't want to put, probably remove this order to go long. Okay, so this is how we can use technology to help us make our better informed decisions. Okay, so even without indicators, right? Or I should say, even without multiple things on your charts, right? As long as you can answer those two questions, is it the right environment for me to be buying or selling? And if it's the right environment for me to be buying, well, then where do I buy? And that's where the auto UFOs help us. Okay. And we can also do this at lower time frames, depending on where what sort of trader you are, whether you are a intraday trader or not. And again, it will help you identify those areas where you can initiate your sells in the market. Okay, so maybe you're an intraday trader, and because of that, you are a little bit more focused on the immediate trend that is in play. So this is more of a corrective move to the downside. And so in this case, you may decide, I am allowed to go short because of the short-term perspective that I have of the market. And so if that is part of your strategy, then what you would be looking for is actually for prices to come back up to this level, this whole level here, in order to initiate your short. So regardless of what's going on, you actually are using technology to help identify the best places to go into and help you control those impulses, right? Because intuitively you're saying, oh, I probably missed out on this trade, because it's all heading down. It's been going lower, and now it's broken that low here, and so I'm missing out on the trade. But if you just chase this trade, it may actually just stop here and then revert back up, and then you're sitting on some losses, and then you think to yourself, oh, I'm going to be price going back up again, and then you start to change what you do, and again, then maybe it kind of bounces up to this area of where the sell UFO is, and then head back down again. Right? So, and then you think to yourself, oh, I missed out on, I got stopped out, lost some money, and now it's going back down again, like I thought it was going to do, and so you just get twisted up and turned around. So what we're trying to do here with technology is identify those areas where you want to be buying, identify those areas you want to be selling within the context of your, the correct analysis around the trend, and trade it accordingly. Right? So we can even put an order in here, do a sell limit. Oops. Just put that. So this time we're going to do a sell limit. I'm going to sell at lower, so it's 21. Let's call it 21.80. Okay, 21.80. Right. And if we're wrong, we're going to get stopped out at so let's call it 22.10. Again, 30 pips, 10. And let's say that we also want to take profits at 21.50, which is the 1-to-1. Okay. Oops, 21.50. Let's place it there. Fractals. So when you say fractals, what do you mean when you say fractals there, Nick? I'm not familiar with the fractal strategy. Sorry, Nick. Yeah. but yeah, you know, I mean, there's many techniques out there, and you know, the thing there is to be, you know, to do what helps, you know, helps you make your trading decisions consistent, right? Don't overcomplicate what you do. I think the best thing is to, you know, formulate understand the market, right? I mean, what is it doing at the time? What are the indirect forces that are influencing price movement, such as news, and but then looking for those areas where orders are likely to be placed. And so that's what order UFOs are there to do, is help you identify where orders are expected to be placed in the market. You know, they're not always going to be there. You know, people pull their orders out of the market all the time. But you know, at the same time, they're also putting them into the market, right? So this is where you know, in terms of the decision making that you're putting into play, just make sure that you know, you're structuring your orders, your decision making process to place orders into the market in a way that basically removes you know, emotion, right, from the decision making. So if you put your order in, you just put it in and you just let it do what it's going to do, unless there's some other factor that comes in that tells you, hey, you know, I don't think this scenario that led me to place this order is going to play out, and so then you remove your order. But otherwise, you just let it there and let the market do its work, right? And of course, you control your risk. And so that's also what we're trying to do here, is work out how much I'm willing to risk on a trade. You know, where should I put my stop? You know, and if it gets stopped out, well, that's just how much money I was willing to lose there. All right. So hey, this is Order UFOs. I'm MetaTrader. Just wanted to show that you know, got a couple of opportunities. One long, one short, both on the euro. We did see you know, the Aussie kind of also moving lower. You know, potentially breaking out of breaking lower on the range. But overall, we are looking, you know, again for both of these markets to kind of move back up to the upside. Okay, so hey, that's all I have for you today. Hey, thanks for the questions, and thank you for joining us. Do find us on again here. I'm in a few weeks at the end of the month. Otherwise, find us on YouTube. And thanks again for joining. All right, take care, everybody. Bye now.